The target was one of the terror training camps, where a contingent of German citizens of Afghan and Turkish descent had been preparing for jihad against Europe. U.S. officials say some have already been dispatched, likely those with their faces obscured in this propaganda tape. But Pakistani officials told ABC News that at least 8 Germans, including a group commander, were killed by CIA missiles launched from an unmanned aircraft.
I think that several people who were involved in the plotting have been targeted, and the others are certainly on the radar of US, Pakistani, and European intelligence services.
U.S. authorities say they have tracked one of the suspected terror cells to the German city of Hamburg. One of the suspects worked as a cleaner at the Hamburg airport, and many also attended the same mosque in Hamburg where the 9/11 hijackers gathered. To the amazement of U.S. officials, it turns out that one of the mosque's leaders is the same man accused by the U.S. 9 years ago of helping to finance the 9/11 plot, Marmoun Darkazanli.
The mosque went back to being a very radical place where people are recruited for attacks, where attacks are discussed. And German intelligence apparently stopped looking closely at the mosque where a lot of 9/11 was planned.
Darkazanli, who was never charged by the Germans,
Amerikanischen Fernsehen ABC News,
declined to comment about the latest plot when approached by ABC News.
Einfach nur sprechen ohne Kamera.
The question now is, will the team of terrorists proceed with their attack, given the alerts and warnings being issued by the U.S. and European countries? Authorities say the group is on a timetable, has already conducted surveillance, and been given a go-ahead to attack, leading to concerns that the attack may be imminent. Brian Ross, ABC News, New York.
1993, according to CIA documents, U.S. intelligence first becomes aware of Marmoun Darkazanli, a Syrian living in Germany at this time, when a person arrested in Africa carrying false passports and counterfeit money is found with Darkazanli's telephone number. Darkazanli is a Syrian businessman residing in Germany. The CIA carefully scrutinizes Darkazanli and his business dealings, but authorities are not able to make a case against him. Many will later claim that Darkazanli is a member of the Hamburg al-Qaeda cell, who has contacts with some of the cell's most fervent members in Mohamed Atta, Marwan al-Shehhi, and others. By mid-1995, al-Qaeda leader Mamdouh Mahmud Salim makes frequent visits to Hamburg, Germany, and sometimes attends the Hamburg mosque that is attended by a few of the future 9/11 hijackers called al-Quds. The 9/11 congressional inquiry will later say that Salim was Osama bin Laden's right-hand man. Starting in 1995, Salim makes frequent visits to Germany. Some of these trips are to Hamburg. Salim also has links to Marmoun Darkazanli, who lives in Hamburg and has signing powers over Salim's bank account. Salim first opens a bank account in Hamburg with Darkazanli in 1995. Darkazanli is also friends with Mohammed Haydar Zammar. Salim has links to Zammar as well. The nature of these links were unclear at the time, but U.S. and German intelligence will later investigate Zammar due to his links with Salim. Zammar and Darkazanli both regularly attend the Al-Quds Mosque in Hamburg, where Salim visits Hamburg and attends the Al-Quds Mosque as well, beginning 1995 through 1998. Beginning in early 96, future 9/11 hijacker Mohamed Atta and other members of the future al-Qaeda Hamburg cell begin regularly attending the Al-Quds Mosque, with different members joining at different times. The mosque also holds 150 people for Friday prayers. It is not known if Salim ever meets with Atta or any other members of the Hamburg cell, but Zammar at least is considered part of the cell, and he or Darkazanli could have introduced Salim to some of the others. One key member of the cell, Saeed Bahaji, is frequently seen at the Al-Quds Mosque with Zammar and Darkazanli. On September 16, 1998, Salim is arrested in Munich, Germany, ending any link he might have had to the Al-Qaeda Hamburg cell. It is not known if U.S. or German investigators even learned of the link between Salim and the Al-Quds Mosque before 9/11. In the spring of 96, German authorities began investigating Marmoun Darkazanli Mohammed, Haydar, Zammar, and 4 others for money laundering. The investigation apparently begins with Darkaznali and 4 unnamed others and grows to incorporate Zammar, Darkaznali, and his friends, and both are closely linked to the al-Qaeda Hamburg cell. The investigation is run by the Bundespolizei, the BKA, Germany's federal crime investigation agency. In late 1998, Darkaznali will be increasingly suspected for various other terrorism ties. But in early 2000, Chief Federal Prosecutor K. Neem will refuse to initiate terrorism investigation proceedings against him, saying there's not enough evidence. Prior to 9/11, German law makes it hard to convict anyone for a terrorism offense unless it could be proven they were involved in an attack on German soil. However, Der Spiegel will later note that while that was true, Darkaznali could have been charged with money laundering instead. The money laundering investigation will resume shortly after 9/11. In late 1998, the CIA first becomes interested in Darkaznali back in 93 and again shows interest in spring of 98. The FBI also shows interest in Darkaznali after al-Qaeda operatives Wadi al-Hajj and Mamdouh Mahmoud Salim are arrested in late 1998. According to FBI documents, Darkaznali's fax and telephone numbers are discovered in al-Hajj address book. Darkaznali's Deutsche bank account is found in the book as well. Al-Hajj has created a number of shell companies as fronts for al-Qaeda activities, and one of these uses the address of Darkaznali's apartment. Further, Al-Hajj's business card shows that Darkaznali's Hamburg address as well. The FBI also discovers that Darkaznali has power of attorney over a bank account belonging to Salim, a high-ranking al-Qaeda member who is now imprisoned. Al-Hajj will later be convicted for his role in the 1998 U.S. Embassy bombings, and Salim will remain in U.S. custody for life. In March of 1999, German intelligence gives the CIA the first name of 9/11 hijacker Marwan al-Shehhi and his telephone number of a phone registered in the United Arab Emirates. The Germans learned the information from the surveillance of al-Qaeda Hamburg cell member Mohammed Haydar Zammar. They tell the CIA that al-Shehhi, who was living in Bonn, Germany at the time, may be connected to al-Qaeda. He is described as a UAE student who has spent time studying in Germany. The conversation is short, but a known alias of Marmoun Darkazanli is mentioned. The CIA is very interested in Darkaznali and will try to recruit him as an informer later in the year. By December of 1999, the CIA began a more persistent effort to recruit German businessman Marmoun Darkazanli as an informant. Darkaznali knows 9/11 hijacker Mohamed Atta and other members of the Hamburg cell pretty well by now. U.S. and German intelligence had previously opened investigations into Darkaznali back in September of 98. Agents occasionally follow him, but Darkaznali obviously noticed the tail on him at least once. More costly and time-consuming electronic surveillance is done, however, and by the end of 99, the investigation has produced little value. German law does not allow foreign governments to have informants in Germany. So this month, Thomas Volz appears at the headquarters of the Hamburg State Domestic Intelligence Agency, the LFV, responsible for tracking terrorists and domestic extremists. Volz's business card identifies him as consul of the United States of America at the U.S. Consulate General in Hamburg, but he is actually an undercover CIA agent. Volz tells them the CIA believes Darkaznali has knowledge of an unspecified terrorist plot and encourages that he be turned over against his al-Qaeda comrades. A source later recalls, he says, Darkaznali knows a lot. Efforts to recruit him will continue in the spring of next year. The CIA has not admitted this interest in Darkaznali. February 12th, a high-ranking CIA officer named David Edgar says that the CIA has tracked some of the people responsible for the September 11 attacks at the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Edgar was a CIA station chief in Berlin, Germany, and thus directed CIA surveillance and infiltration attempts against the Hamburg cell of the 9/11 hijackers and other cells in Germany. Some of the contacts involved: Marmoun Darkazanli, and Mohammed Haydar Zammar. By spring of 2000, German investigators finally agree to the CIA's request to recruit businessman Marmoun Darkazanli as an informant. An agent of the LFV, the Hamburg State Intelligence Agency, casually approaches Darkazanli and asks him whether he is interested in becoming a spy. Darkazanli replies that he is just a businessman who knows nothing about al-Qaeda or terrorism. The Germans informed the local CIA representative that the approach failed. The CIA agent persists, asking the German agent to continue to try. However, when German agents ask for more information to show Darkazanli they know of as a terrorist, the CIA fails to give them any information. As it happens, at the end of January of 2000, Darkazanli had just met with Barakat Yarkis, a known al-Qaeda militant in Madrid, Spain. Darkazanli is a longtime friend and business partner of Yarkis, the most prominent al-Qaeda agent in Spain. Yarkis has long been under surveillance by Spanish intelligence, and they have been sharing that intelligence with the CIA between August of '98 until September 11, 2001. The meeting included other suspected al-Qaeda figures, and it was monitored by Spanish police. If the CIA is aware of the Madrid meeting, they do not tell the Germans. A second LFV attempt to recruit Darkazanli also fails. The CIA then attempts to work with federal German intelligence officials in Berlin to turn Darkazanli. Results of that effort are not known. Between June of 2000 and August of 2001, 9/11 hijackers living in Florida, Mohamed Haydar Zammar, Mohamed Atta, and Ziadjar received money from abroad via wire and bank transfers. After 9/11, the FBI and the 9/11 Commission will focus on just two sets of wire transfers, one totaling approximately $10,000 from hijacker associate Ramzi bin al-Shibh, and another totaling $110,000 from a plot facilitator later identified as Ali Abdul Aziz Ali, nephew of Mohammed Haydar Zammar, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. On September 24, 2001, the United States freezes the accounts of 27 individuals and organizations alleging that they had channeled money to al-Qaeda. First included in the list is the Marmoun Darkazanli Export-Import Company, which may have been used to funnel money to the hijackers throughout June of 2000 to August of 2001. U.S. officials say Darkazanli took part in the 1996 Khobar Towers bombing in Saudi Arabia in June 25th of 96. Darkazanli attended Saeed Bahaji's wedding in 99. On October 2nd of 2001, Darkazanli's other accounts are also frozen. The U.S. and German governments suspect Darkazanli of providing financial and logistics support to the Hamburg cell. Shortly thereafter, Spanish police listening into Barakat Yarkis' telephone hear Yarkis warn the leader of a Syrian extremist organization that Darkazanli has caught the flu going around. This is believed to be a coded reference meaning that communicating with Darkazanli is not safe. On November 11, 2010, Manfred Merck, the head of intelligence in Hamburg, Germany, expresses frustration that Marmoun Darkazanli is still not imprisoned. In an interview with CNN, Merck says, "We knew him even before 9/11. We still believe that he was, and maybe still is, a kind of representative of al-Qaeda in Hamburg." Darkazanli was linked to many members of the al-Qaeda Hamburg cell that included a few of the 9/11 hijackers, and he was suspected of belonging to al-Qaeda since the early 1990s. But the German government never developed enough evidence to charge him. He is wanted in Spain, but the German government has refused to extradite him. In recent years, Darkazanli became the imam to the Al-Quds Mosque, the same mosque attended by Mohamed Atta, Ramzi bin al-Shibh, Mohamed Haydar Zammar, and Mohamed al-Shehhi, and others involved in the 9/11 plot who also knew Darkazanli. In March of 2009, a group of young men who attended Al-Quds left Hamburg for training camps in Pakistan. Some of them were later arrested and confessed to being involved in a plot to attack targets in Europe. German intelligence officials say that Darkaznali was closely tied to Ahmad Siddiqui and Naim Mekiji, two leaders of the group. Merck believes Darkaznali inspired this later group of militant recruits, but carefully did so in a way that did not break any laws. Merck would say, when it comes to the last speeches Darkaznali gave them, he told them, Allah helped to kill our enemies. So it was very general. It was not, let's kill that one or destroy that city. It was more a general cry for help to Allah to help the brothers against the enemies. But it was not enough for our police to open an investigation against them. The Al-Quds Mosque was shut down in August of 2010, but German officials are worried that Darkaznali may start preaching at another mosque, which could start a new legal battle.